Welcome everyone to another episode of Speedrunner Showcase. This time we are featuring J22 for the second time. Why don't you say hello?
Hello guys.
J2 recently set his first ever sub 40 full game speedrun. And that's a really big milestone, a really big accomplishment. So I'm excited to see this for myself. Let's get started and we'll talk a little bit more about the run as we go. Awesome, I'm so excited for this. So, do you know, can you tell us what day did you set this run?
Oh gosh. I can't even remember. I think it was like it was sometime this week. It might have been, it was like either like Tuesday or Wednesday, somewhere in there, I think.
Okay,
I can't
so
remember the exact one right now.
Around February the 15th of 2021. Awesome. And you only kind of picked up this category somewhat recently, didn't you? At least for including all 6 chapters.
I ran it, yeah, because I think I ran 6 chapters like once before, but actually I think I might have done it twice before, but both times I never really did a lot of runs in it. I just kind of learned it because I just like playing the levels, and then I just only did a couple runs so my time was a lot less optimized compared to my skill levels, so I could already put in some of the practice before I started the big grind this time to get down to a good time.
Nice. What made you decide to get down to a big grind for full game?
I wasn't really planning to go this low. I just wanted to get a decent time, and then I just was enjoying it, so I just kept playing, really.
Oh, very cool. Recently, you were involved in the Super Bowl race, isn't that right?
Yeah. When I did the first run and it came on here before, that was when you guys told me about it, and I was excited to do some races. Oh wow, that was an unfortunate bounce there. Yeah,
you really managed to save it though. This Stay Frosty is interesting. Maybe a little bit of time
usually
loss.
When I die on lose some time, and I just feel like getting out of World 1 by then, so I don't bother resetting.
You just want to be out of Chapter 1. I get it. I definitely know that feeling.
And it's only like 3 or 4 seconds, so not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. At my times, at least.
Yeah, not huge. You still have, in the 39-minute range, going forward, you still have a little bit of wiggle room for small mistakes like that. Without needing to go ahead and reset or anything. So 221 coming out of Chapter 1 is a decent enough start.
Yeah, now it's nice whenever I do runs. I'm always just like +5 coming out of Chapter 1 at least, and it feels a nice start to the run.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Or not +5, -5, I mean.
What about Chapter 2? How do you feel about Chapter 2?
Chapter 2, I always make one mistake in Chapter 2.
Okay. You restart off in here in the beginning?
Sometimes I do something dumb on transit and just try to cut a jump too early. And I die sometimes on duality when I just miss the double jump off the trim and just hit it once and fall off. But other than that, I don't really make any mistakes till near the end, really, when I mess up the start of triple divide sometimes.
Yeah. I've said this before, but I really feel like triple divide is where the run kind of starts. In a lot of ways, it's the first, and you could say as well the beginning of Chapter 3, but compared to the rest of Chapter 2, triple divide and thread the needle are where the time losses and time gains start to show up. For sure. So, I know we talked about this a little bit last time. This is your second time on Speedrunner Showcase. Last time you were on Speedrunner Showcase, it was one of your first real successful runs in the recent times for Chapters 1 to 6. And with something like a 46-minute run, something close to that. You've made a lot of big improvements since then, and it was not all that long ago.
Yeah, I think it was how long? It's probably been 3 or 4 weeks now, at least.
I think it's been a
But not-
little bit longer than that, but yeah, it was definitely
Yeah, but
since the beginning of 2021, as far as I know, and yeah, you've come a long way as a full game runner. Just
Yeah, I mean,
wondering,
I've just
do you
been
do other
practicing a lot,
categories and stuff
maybe.
as well, like individual levels, or do you compete in custom levels?
Um, I do them. I just do some ILs and custom levels just for fun sometimes to mix it up. But I'm not. I don't get like try to go for super good times on them. But I do try to get some more optimized IL times and custom level times sometimes. When I feel like it mainly. But RTA is definitely my main focus of really putting into practice to get good.
Nice. Very nice. I definitely feel like RTA could be the de facto main way of playing this game in the future. Obviously, there's always going to be people competing for ILs, but I really do love this category, and I can tell that you're enjoying it too, based on just how much work you've been putting into it and how much self-improvement you've been striving for in RTA.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to run. It's basically like saying that his route is good for triple divine. I don't even do any of the hits on the arches and that. I know
Yeah,
you
it
do like a little bit of that.
looked like a pretty
I just
clean
kind of
triple divide to me.
hold hard right to get the turn around the rock instead of bonking on the archway there.
It looked honestly just as fast. I guess it really just depends the way you learn it, more so than even one of them being faster than the others.
Yeah, I guess it's just a more matter of what's more consistent for you there.
Ooh, it looked here on Thread the Needle like you were trying to get a
Yeah,
wall hit for that super jump, but you still made it up,
yeah,
and so not bad.
I did the thing where you like use it after you hit the wall, but it was kind of a little weird. But I still didn't fall back down, so that was good at least.
It looked like you may have accidentally used the super jump slightly before hitting the wall, and so
Yeah,
rather
that's
than bouncing
possible.
off the wall, you kind of had enough upward momentum that you slid up instead.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure because I got like a weird medium amount of height that's like more than you usually get doing that, but not as much. So I don't really know what happened exactly there, but
yeah, it's
I didn't die,
definitely
so that's good.
worth doing. I think you didn't lose time for going for the wall hit because you still made it up, but you also had a chance to go for it and make it. So that worked out for you just fine, honestly. It looks like elevator
Oh
action
no, I did
has
something
struck
really
again.
dumb here. I should have just I don't know why I didn't reset and go. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot how much time you lose if you like because you're not even getting like the decent cycle that you can get without going for it. You're like a cycle behind that. So I should have just. This is just dumb. I should have reset and
Yeah,
or not reset the level. I mean.
interesting. If you're confident in the ability to get it second or third try, then yes, it's definitely faster to go ahead and restart there when you miss. But if
Yeah,
you...
I know this is definitely never a good idea. This loses weight. This is like 25 seconds. This is pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's even
I don't really know
a full cycle slower than not going for the skip, right?
Yeah, I acknowledge that was not a good idea. I don't know what I was thinking then.
Yeah. Certainly could have been worse, though. I mean, I've had to reset runs on elevator action before because I missed it 7 or 8 times, and it was just like, well, I guess
Yeah,
not
that's
in
what
this
probably
run.
was just I didn't want to. That's probably what I didn't want. But I just didn't want to reset like that. But
Just wanted to get the run going.
yeah, because this is like, well, this was also like the run before this was like I was just kind of de-rusting a bit, and it was pretty slow. So I think that was kind of why I did it because I wasn't expecting to get a PB on this run. I was just trying to de-rust a little bit more.
Okay,
So
so
I
you're
didn't
saying
expect
this
it to be
was just a
super good
derust run.
I mean, it wasn't like it was like a mini de-rust run because I hadn't played in a couple days, so I just wanted to kind
Right.
of get back in the swing of things.
And this
So
was
that's
your
why.
first run of
That's
the day,
also
then?
probably. I mean, I think I might have. It was my first like run that went deep into the game, at least. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. That's
So
exciting.
that
to
might
get a
be
PB
that
in those
probably factored
circumstances.
into my. Oh yeah. that probably factored in my decision making for not just riding it out on elevator action there.
Well, it worked out then.
But
Yeah, not bad, because then you can, I mean, if, on your first run of the day, especially if you're just kind of warming up, you can keep going and then come back and practice those for your next run, generally. Right? You just take a note of all the levels that you need to warm up a little bit more on, and then you can come back for the second run with a little bit of practice.
yeah, that's a good way to do it.
All right, coming in through 4 stairs right now, and also forgot to note, but you got a 6:59 at the end of Chapter 2, which really hits that kind of 7-minute standard that I talk about as a really good, like a really decent start for the run. If you come out in less than 7 minutes, then I feel like you're on a pretty good pace. Certainly not to the standards of a world record run per se, but you're off to a good start so far. And 8 seconds ahead of your PB.
Yeah, my PB didn't have an amazing early game before. I mean, this one's still not super great, but it was still better than the one before, so
yeah.
I was definitely happy with this start right now.
Just take a moment to talk about your splits. Have you ever... I noticed you use chapter splits. Have you ever done individual level splits, or is that something that you're not interested in?
I've never tried it before. I don't know. I didn't don't like the kind of interruption to the flow of having to like press the split, so I wouldn't really want that between every level, I would think.
Okay. Fair enough. Very, very hype first try coggers there.
Yeah, I wasn't
done.
expecting the first try. I know I could be decently ahead if I got it first try, and I was like excited to get it there.
Yeah, that's really
the other
that's a
day.
good feeling.
The other day, like I thought I was going insane because I could just not get the skip on Cog Valley no matter what I did. But
Right.
like it turns out that my controller was actually acting up. It wasn't just me being bad at the game. I could
really?
actually blame the controller. Yeah, it was like the input was kind of like flashing back between like fully in one direction and like at half value, so I couldn't like maintain full speed. But it was like a really subtle difference, so I didn't notice it at first.
What kind
So
of
then I
controller
looked
do
it
you
up
use?
online.
Oh yeah, continue
No, I
your
used
story,
just a Switch
you know.
Pro controller.
Switch Pro.
So I looked it up online, and someone else just said they were having that problem, and someone said to just like press down on the stick and blow into like the edges. So I thought like I might as well try that, and it actually worked and just fixed it right there. So that was really surprising.
Oh yeah, I actually have to do
actually
that
fixed
myself
the
as well.
problem. Is that a common thing? I never had that occur.
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, apparently it's related to Joy-Con drift, because they use a similar technology for the analog sticks on the Pro Controller, but it's a little bit easier to fix, fortunately, on the Pro Controller.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the controller a while, but I never had that happen before. I was just glad to get it figured out and know that I'm not bad at the game.
Right.
But doing that, I was just like doing it over and over again to try to like get it because I couldn't get it. So I kind of got like a bunch of practice in accidentally there. So now I've kind of been pretty consistent at it recently.
Nice. So you're using a Switch Pro Controller, but this is the PC version, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have the Switch version?
Yeah, I do have the Switch version.
So when you choose between speedrunning on the PC version or the Switch version, what kind of comes into play there?
Mainly just I don't have like a capture card, so it's easier to record. Basically, is why I started running on PC.
Sounds like a good reason.
I think like my earliest chapter 6, or like not chapter 6, but full game runs since they added 6 chapters were on Switch.
Okay. What makes you think that?
Well, I mean, I think if I remember correctly, they are, because I think I just recorded it by just like aiming like pointing a camera at the screen or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did that at first also. It's kind of my
that's
first
always
foray
a
into
little
speedrunning.
annoying. A little annoying. I have to set that up every time, so I'd just rather run on PC and be able to record it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely a fair amount of convenience with the capture card. But assuming you have access to the PC version and a PC that can play the game and record or stream at the same time, then perfect. That works just as well.
That was the first time I'd ever overshot that skip before.
Your first time? Well, you got a nice recovery then.
I mean, I haven't been going for it that long, but I never overshot it before. Yeah, I was lucky to land on like the very edge of that wall and not die, to still not lose too much time at least.
Yeah, I
Because
found
my PB before this didn't do the skip, so it's
okay.
only losing the time it took to go up and down.
So it wasn't really much of a time loss to do that then, even though you didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little slow to go up and down. I probably lost like 7 or so seconds if I had to guess.
At the most, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I have definitely overshot that a bunch of times. I find the majority of the time, if I do overshoot, then I'm not able to land back down where you did. So
yeah.
You could have lost a lot more time there than what happened.
Yeah, I did that one. I've overshot it once since then, and I just fell off the edge, so that was pretty lucky, I realize now.
Yeah, definitely a good save.
I don't know, I tried to go to the right side still after I like missed grabbing the gem for a split second. It's usually pretty tight to get in there.
Okay, we're coming along coming through chapter 4, and this is looking like a really good run so far. I'm really impressed. It's been quite clean.
Yeah, this one was a very nice early game. But chapter 4 in my previous PB, I had like a really good time for me, so I knew I was probably going to lose some time there. I just wanted to keep it at a minimum.
Have you watched this run back since you said it yourself?
No, I haven't watched the whole thing back.
Okay. I'm curious to see how well you remember what's coming up next in the run and everything like that. I know for myself, watching back my PBs after I set them, there's always something in there that I just completely forgot about.
Yeah, I feel like I'm usually like I remember the run I just did pretty well, but I've done like a couple runs since then, so that kind of like clears out what my memory a bit, and I don't remember all the exact details anymore.
There's Dire Straits. And what is the Ex Machina route you use?
I use the one, well, I don't know what you'd call it, but just doing this. It's just really consistent for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people do like other weird stuff. It doesn't seem like it saves a lot of time, and it seems harder. No,
I mean, that was a perfectly good strat. It's I find for whatever reason, Ex Machina, people tend to have a lot of different strats that are consistent and work for them because that's how they learned it. And for the majority of players, it's not worth learning any other strats since they already know a good one.
I know I used to do something different, but then just this time I learned that one, and I was like, this is so much more consistent than anything I've ever done. And it's probably faster too, so I just really like that route now.
Very cool.
I got a really weird bounce and kind of had a little
I noticed
to go for the second part of this skip.
You were trying to go for a fast but standard route and kind of overshot one of the surfaces you meant to bounce off of.
Yeah, it was just like barely something like grazed me and knocked me out of position for the second part. But the 46 is not actually that bad, though.
Yeah, it only cost you maybe 6 or 7 seconds at the most. So despite all those bounces, you kept a fair amount of speed.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say, usually when you mess it up, I get more like a 50 or so, but 46 is pretty solid for messing it up. Fastest, yeah, I feel like every other, I'm talking to Space Quack in chat now. Every other like Ex Machina route I do I've seen is like, and not like only like between nothing below like a 14. So like I feel like I wouldn't really want to go for anything less consistent.
Yeah.
For like half a second of time save when that's just like one of the most automatic routes in the game for me now.
For sure. Yeah, if you already know a consistent strat for something, and there exists another strat that doesn't really save much time, is it worth learning? I find for me, I'd rather put my practice towards something else that I can get more consistent at, or learn a new strategy that will save a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
Because practice time
I
is
also feel like,
not unlimited.
Yeah, you kind of gotta, if you're not gonna have, you gotta choose what's the most bang for your buck sometimes, definitely.
Oh, that was a
This
really
is the
sad
biggest-
death here on RTA.
Yeah, that was the biggest tragedy to run, because that's not a like very typical spot to die.
Looking back, give me a moment. I'm actually gonna go back and watch this again. I know you don't like watching that, but if I'm going to check, I believe you did have at least one checkpoint at some point during RTA, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think I reset.
Yeah, you did. I definitely did see you press the reset button before you went out of bounds. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are no checkpoints on this route. So far, there haven't been.
There might not be.
I'm proven wrong. That's restart button was correct, but interesting that this route wouldn't have checkpoints.
Reset, yeah.
I feel like you almost have to go out of your way not to have checkpoints on your route for this level, because they're pretty easy to find. Anyways,
Yeah, I guess
we
they're all
can
kind of clustered around the edges.
yeah, we can go ahead and skip, move forward. This checkpoint right here in between the Featherfall and the gem there is one that I always get with my route, even though it's probably slightly slower.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take a death on this very often, so I guess I didn't really know that there was no checkpoints. Maybe I probably shouldn't have reset, but I guess it was the right decision after all.
Yeah, it was. I just wasn't sure myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, because it's not a level you die on very often, at least for me.
All right, and here it is, the most exciting part of the run. Yeah.
It's interesting how it's simultaneously the most exciting for some runners and the most boring for others. It has an interesting
Pretty much.
duality in its nature in
Yeah.
RTA.
I don't know what it is. It's just so funny. But I guess it's because it's so boring that the skip is so exciting. Like, because it's such a big time save.
Yeah. I've tried to like do the skip, but I can't even like do it once and then like an IL. I've just like tasked it like 1 or 2 times before.
Okay. Yeah, I have managed to pull it off twice, but it took me a few hours each time to actually land it
Yeah, I mean, I've
at all.
spent a massive amount of time.
And then with tasks, well... yeah, I've definitely done this a few times with tasks.
Yeah, you do like a grind on like the inside rail or something, don't you?
Yeah, the upper inside rail is the edge surf. A lot of fun. While we're going through chapter 5 here, do you have any thoughts on RTA right now and the state of the game, and any other runners who are kind of playing this game right now?
I mean, it's been really cool I feel like there's just like a lot of people like improving a lot right now. Like, I feel like you, Savadra, and like Ville and Marvel, of course, could all just like get a really good time any day now.
Interesting.
As well as me, hopefully. Like, there's a lot of runners kind of in that 39 range right now, and I feel like a lot of them are probably going to get on a 38 at least.
Yeah, I mean, now that you've reached your time, all of the top 10 are currently in sub 40 range. It's crazy. Very, very crazy and very, very cool.
Yeah, we just need Umber to get a sub 40, and then it'll be like a massive gap from like 46 all the way down to 39 in the leaderboards.
I for one, am definitely expecting a sub 40 from Umber very soon. But you did mention Marbler.
He can definitely get it as long as he cares enough to do it. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries. You did mention Marbler though, and it seems that of the 39-minute runners, he's the one who's kind of improving the fastest in the RTA category.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, Marbler's insane. He got like a 39 his fourth run or something.
yeah, I think he said it was his
I was
fifth
watching
or
a
his sixth
stream.
run that got a
Yeah.
39 in the Speedrunner Showcase. And yeah, I find the less experienced someone is and the better they do, the scarier they are in a lot of ways.
Yeah, definitely. I was watching a stream earlier today, and like he just started trying like contraption skip, and like after 30 minutes, he was starting to get consistent at it. And then the next run, he got it on his first try that he ever attempted in RTA, and just did contraption skip in it, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, this is a little uphill both ways blunder. I've done that.
It's such like
more
a
times
small
than I'd like
mistake,
to
but
admit.
it's like it's really slow for like just the small mistake that it seems like.
It's not even that big of a time loss for how irritating it can be. Speaking as somebody who's done that before. Looks like you got a nice little gravity section there, though.
Yeah, this time I haven't gone for that a lot at this point. I just noticed that it was like really tilted. And I'm like, it'll be a pain to go backwards, so I might as well go to the gravity there.
Right, right. Nice, so there's uphill both ways. Looking at Chapter 5, what would you say your favorite parts of Chapter 5 are during the run?
I do like uphill both ways a lot. I think that's just a really fun level.
Okay.
There's a lot of like, it's got a lot of variety because you got like the cool like going across to the gravity with the speed and then like the little bumper hit at the end. Just a lot of cool tricks and packed into one level.
Right. Yeah, it is cool, and it is a little bit of a lengthier level as well, which is nice. Anything in Chapter 5 that you hate in particular?
Nothing that I just like Vertigo. I don't hate Vertigo, but I'm always nervous on Vertigo because I feel like I could just lose a ton of time here at any point.
Right.
If I just die a bunch. So it always makes me nervous. But it is a fun level to play.
Yeah. There are a fair amount of checkpoints, though, come into play here, as we can see. Those checkpoints are a godsend in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like having one death isn't a big deal, but like sometimes you can just get in a little rut and get like 3 or 4 real quick deaths, and those really add up over time.
Yeah, yeah. So you had a good strat for the center section there. Had a good start for the a good strat for the center section there, but I noticed you haven't learned the faster start yet. I definitely think that's within your skill range to learn.
Wait, the faster start, like where you like jump across those, where like the time travel, or you mean at the beginning?
Yep. I think the key for me to be able to do it is the I guess it would be the notch that I that I put in my Pro Controller, so I can hold directly forward perfectly. So maybe if you haven't done that yet, it might be a little bit trickier, but being able to hold straight forward definitely helps.
Yeah, I haven't tried that at all, so I don't know. If I know a consistent setup for it, I might give it a try.
Yeah, the setup that I do, which is pretty simple, is basically I don't move the camera at all, and I hold straight forward. Which is not that easy to do on a Pro Controller if you don't have a notch.
Yeah.
Hence the, the notch. But you're coming in, it looks like you're going to be more or less tied with your PB after Chapter 5, barring any major mistakes here on Pit of Despair, which I probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
but...
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, I'll be almost exactly even, but then doesn't go quite as planned at the end.
Oh, you got a checkpoint? I hope that was a good checkpoint. It was, okay. It looked like for a second there that the basher had knocked you into a lower checkpoint, and that would have been a disaster.
I don't know. I just made a mistake there because, like, I don't know. I usually just wait there for the basher to go. I just wasn't thinking, I guess.
Okay, and now we are just 18 seconds behind, and I just noticed, I probably should have looked at this earlier, but your sum of best segments right now is 39 minutes and 17 seconds. So this PB that you're setting right now is pretty much almost as fast as all of your best chapters combined.
Yeah, that's because my chapter 6 gold was really bad before this run.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was just looking up above and seeing there's no gold splits on any of the other chapters, and you're gonna come very close to your sum of best. So this must be a great chapter
like
6.
I don't have like I have a minute to save not on my PB but on my gold split. There's like a minute to save in chapter 6
Right.
basically. And my PB is like even worse than that. So I knew I was well within PB range. I knew coming in with like plus 18. I just had to play good on chapter 6.
And 12:45 was your chapter 6 time in your previous PB. That is
Yeah,
your
which is,
your
pretty-
40:32. You said a 12-minute and 45-second chapter 6. So I'm interested to see what you're going to be getting as a chapter time for chapter 6, because maybe it could be a chapter 6 PB for the chapter leaderboards.
Yeah, I think I did upload the segment to the chapter leaderboards from this run.
Oh, perfect.
But yeah, I've added a lot of new strats to chapter 6 since I set the gold split on this too. So this is kind of a run where they all kind of came together and I got a good run with the good new strats I've been learning.
Very
like,
nice.
Including this Platinum Playground.
Yeah, I noticed you did the faster Platinum Playground gems on the walls where you go up through them from the side instead of going up and landing on them. And got those very clean.
Yeah, this is the first time I've gotten like a super clean Platinum Playground since I started using the new route. So
It is definitely super
a good
clean.
start.
What's that, 1 minute and 6 seconds with maybe one time travel? Maybe not?
Yeah, there's at least one probably. I don't know if I picked up the other one or not.
Whoa, that edge hit on Radius was very unfortunate. I think it probably could have been saved, but you still would have been half a cycle behind
Yeah,
for what you were trying
I
to
think it was
do.
the right choice to just reset there.
Yeah, a little bit less risky to do that when rather than improvising a save, which sometimes can just end up costing you time because you end up resetting later.
Yeah, and it was right at the beginning, so it's not a super big time loss.
Yeah, for sure.
Radius has been starting to give me some trouble again lately.
Were you feeling more comfortable with it previously? Are you trying new strats?
Well, I did a different strat that I was like I finally got really consistent at, but it was like a good bit slower than this. So then I added this, and now I've been kind of trying to get back comfortable again.
Right.
But it saves like at least like 15 seconds over what I was doing, so definitely worth it.
Yeah,
Because even if
worth
I
it for
die
sure.
once there, it can still be faster than what I was doing.
Yeah, that certainly didn't cost you a full 15 seconds for that one restart.
I think my chapter 6 gold probably had the old route still on that I was doing on Radius, so that was some more time save over the gold split there. My PB probably had that route though.
And still, like a clean chapter 6. Clean chapter 6
Yeah,
so far.
this chapter 6 is for my skill level right now, it's about as good as I could hope for how consistent I am on chapter 6. So I was really happy to get this at the end of the run.
Ooh, and another reset on Centripetal Force. Another 2 resets, actually. You weren't about to fall off. It just seemed like you were a little off cycle. And
Yeah,
it
I
was
didn't
worth
wanna,
it for you
I knew I'd be
to
behind the
reset
cycle.
rather than try to figure out a new route.
And the second time, like, I don't know if other people get this glitch, but like sometimes when like a reset, like the marble just like won't spin in the beginning. Is that like
Yeah,
a
that
common
can
glitch
happen.
that people will have? Yeah, that's what happened the second time there. That's why I reset again.
But yeah, that's been in the game since day one. Although they have fixed some of the problems that could cause it, there's still a few
Yeah, here I
less
was trying to
common
go
ways
for
that it can happen.
a faster cycle, but I messed it up and went back to the old cycle that I used to go for, I think. But I kind of messed it up a bit there. And it was
Yeah,
a
you've
tiny
been
bit
practicing the
slower, but-
faster cycle. But
Yeah, so
it's definitely worth knowing
but-
the slower cycles. Because that does happen.
I do know I tried to get the lower cycle, but I kind of missed it a bit too. But it only cost like 4 seconds over what I had before, minus the deaths at the beginning. That was the first time I'd gotten that first kickflip in a run.
Really?
It's because I didn't know the way to do it before. I wasn't jumping twice, so it's like it was a lot harder. But then I didn't know I was supposed to jump twice, and now it's a lot more consistent for me.
I feel like you're throwing a little bit of shade at me because I don't jump twice. But I'm also not very consistent at it.
Start. Well, I wasn't doing that either. I'd jump onto it, then I'd bounce once and then jump, and that was really inconsistent. Like the rolling might be better, but what I was doing was not that either. It was just something that wasn't very good.
Right. Well, you did first kickflip, second kickflip, third kickflip, kind of back to back first try. So very, very good. Well done, and that is that's pretty exciting from this run's perspective because 20 seconds behind.
Yeah,
you probably saved 20 seconds just on escalation.
Yeah. Whenever I get to confluence on like a good pace, I'm like, okay, now it's time. This run's getting serious. But I know I still have the big obstacle of Olympus for me to tackle.
Yeah, Olympus. I find personally, I'm most nervous about losing time on Tangle at this point in the race. But yeah, a bad Olympus can definitely throw you off.
I go for the safer Tangle route though, so I'm pretty consistent at that.
Yeah, you're using the checkpoint abuse strat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been trying to learn the new route, but I just can't get the start down consistently.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge for me to do consistently as well. But it also is fun, and I think that's why I've been trying to learn it.
This is a very unusual Olympus start.
It actually looks pretty close to what I often do. So it's funny that you would say that. Olympus, in some ways, even more so than Ex Machina, everybody kind of has their own patterns that they're used to. And you see somebody doing something that looks like it could never work, and then they just pull it off easily because that's what they've always done on Olympus, and you're like, okay, I had no idea you could even do that.
Yeah, I think I just crossed over the first gap like a lot earlier than I'm used to on Olympus there. So I'm glad it worked out for me, not knowing it super well.
This is a fast-paced Olympus, though. If you keep this up, you'll be probably finishing something like 210.
Yeah, I like the route I do on Olympus is pretty fast. Like if I don't make any major mistakes, I get like a 205 with it. But in practice, I usually get like around like 207 to 210 range if I don't die at least. But there were a little hard bounces here at the end. And
yeah, a few bounces
coming in.
As long as you get past those gaps, then now you can start looking at the timer. And yeah, you're definitely on that pace. So well done on Olympus. Was there time to save on Olympus versus your previous PB, or did you kind of need a good Olympus in order to not lose time?
Yeah, no, my PB had a death on Olympus, so this is like another like 30-second time save over.
That's probably perfect. And yeah, 207. Very, very good.
Good Tangle. I feel pretty good about using this route, but I'm just it's still hard when your hands are shaky and a little nervous.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't even see how far ahead of your PB you are right now because of the nature of chapter splits.
Yeah.
Which, do you think that's good for you, or do you think it's not good for you?
Yeah, it's probably for the best at Tangle. I feel like that just makes me more nervous. I just like, and then I don't have to worry about all that. I just focus on doing a Tangle and not screwing it up.
Well, you didn't screw it up. 38 seconds on Tangle.
Yeah, the new route is a lot faster, but I can, it's hard for me now, and I can't even imagine doing it when I'm super nervous at the end of a good run.
Alright, and here's Stratosphere.
And when you get the Stratosphere on a good pace, then I'm always just thinking like, don't screw it up because it's pretty consistent. But
Yeah,
there's still some stuff you can mess up.
nice save, or not save, but safe double super speed version of the gravity skip. I definitely encourage that version for real-time runs.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's the part that I used to mess up entering this loop a lot, but I've been pretty good at it recently.
Yep, that was pretty good at it. That was pretty good. A little bit of a bounce, but you didn't lose nearly enough speed to not be able to make it across. And are you doing any loop skips? I don't think you skipped the first loop, so probably not the last loop
Yeah,
either.
I don't do any loop skips at all.
Very nice. Very nice and clean. Solid overall for Chapter 6. And for this whole speedrun, really. Yeah, look at that. Practically a minute of gold split right there. 11:28 is a very good play for keeps. I think that might be faster than my Chapter 6 PB, which is very cool. And yeah, way to go. Congratulations. I'm so glad that you've stuck with this category and put in so much effort, and the results have really paid off.
Yeah, thanks. I took it farther than I thought I was going to, but I think I'm gonna try to keep going a little bit lower for now. I definitely want a 38. I think I can manage that.
You think a 38-minute run is your current goal then?
Yeah, I'd say so. But if I get too busy, I might have to not do that. In which case, I'd be happy with the sub 40 no matter what, I think. But hopefully, I can lower it a little more.
Nice. Well, I look forward to watching those attempts. That should be a lot of fun. Anything else that you'd like to say before we head out? Want to say thank you for joining me, and yeah, it's all yours to let us know what you're thinking in the future.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't know much to say, but just thanks for having me on and to talk about the run. It's always fun.
Great, it was my pleasure. So glad you were able to join us. Have yourself a wonderful night, and thank you all for watching. This has been Speedrunner Showcase. This has been J2. I'm H-Dude. See ya.